Well, the playoffs are underway, or about to be underway within minutes here from York High School as Elgin Larkin paying a visit to Elmhurst to play the Dukes of York. I'm Dave Owen, Kevin Krebs joining me. Hopefully hear from Dean Petrolakis down on the field later today. And a couple of teams 7-2 coming in with even records today, Kevin. But Elgin Larkin, one thing they have done is strike quickly and often, and they will be a team to reckon with today for York.
High-powered offense led by Vince Weber, their outstanding sophomore running back. He scored 22 touchdowns this year, averaging over 10 yards per carry, and an outstanding job as well by quarterback Joel Castillo. Offense is averaging nearly 36 points per game, and they'll have to go up against a pretty solid York defense.
The Dukes only allowing 175 yards a game. The thing about Elgin Larkin, the thing that really jumps out at you, they have scored on the first play from scrimmage the last 4 games. And that is almost unheard of. We'll see if they can duplicate that again today.
They've just got big play threats left and right. In addition to Weber, they've got an outstanding wide receiver in Teddy Johnson, and Castillo's played solid in his first year at quarterback, completing 57% of his passes, so they can strike early and often. But the York defense has really stepped up the last 3 weeks. They've only given up 6 points in their last 3 ball games, and on the season only 9.6 points per game. So it'll be an interesting contest, I think.
Really, the only letdowns for York were that fourth quarter against Maine South in week 1 when they lost 22-21 after leading 21-3 heading into the fourth. And then Hinsdale Central's the second half there when Hinsdale Central came from behind down 7-0, I believe, to win 24-7. So 3 quarters of bad defensive football out of the 36 on the year is not too bad. They'll need probably 4 good ones, though, today to hold Elgin Larkin in check.
Yeah, those are 2 pretty good ball teams, though. You look at, Maine
both
South
playoff teams.
Maine
right.
South traditionally, every year in the state playoffs, and Hinsdale Central almost pulling off the big upset last night against Naperville Central. Had the big lead 19-7 in the fourth quarter before they finally folded down the stretch.
That's half the story. I don't know if they folded as much as Naperville Central kind of came to life and wore them down, having fewer two-way players and twice as many players in uniform. That certainly helps, but a great effort by Hinsdale Central, whichever way you want to slice it. When we look at York, they are being introduced. They will be in the all-green, as you see. And Elgin Larkin will be in the white jerseys with blue pants. A few Dukes to watch. They've got a high-powered offense. They've averaged over 300 yards a game. Talk about Elgin Larkin. Well, York can put up some big numbers, too. 37-6 over Proviso West last week, and over 20 points in 5 of the 9 regular season games. Max Milinkovic, an excellent running back, over 800 yards rushing in the year. George Brown, a strong two-way player at running back and linebacker. And, of course, Mike Connors, the quarterback. With a couple completions today, he'll be over 1,000 yards on the season.
Well, York has had 9 guys named to the all-conference team, and Elgin Larkin finished 3rd in the Upstate 8 Conference behind St. Charles and Lake Park, and those were their only 2 defeats on the season. Lake Park advancing with a victory over Clemente yesterday, and St. Charles ran into Wheaton Warrenville South, and they got knocked off pretty handily yesterday. And I guess St. Charles, just was dominated from the very beginning, but they were a pretty solid ball club throughout the conference season, and they gave Larkin a battle, beating Larkin in week 6 of the season 40-13. And talking to the Larkin coaching staff before the game, they just said St. Charles really picked them apart. They had an excellent game plan, and along with their loss to Lake Park, those were the only 2 defeats this season for the Larkin Royals. But their defense has played pretty well as well, giving up 14.5 points per game. But the other side of that story is they've got 5 shutouts on the season, so when they have a good game plan, they can really step it up and play some defense as well.
Some of their wins, of course, they beat one playoff team, Rich East, 41-0, lost to 2 others, St. Charles and Lake Park. Also defeated Waubonsee Valley, though, to knock them out of the playoffs. So they played a tough schedule in the Upstate 8, and they'll be certainly ready for playoff action today. We see the York starters. This is the offense. And, of course, Mike Connors will be at quarterback, George Brown, Max Milinkovic. And you have Tim Stratton, an excellent receiver, along with Rick Hoffman at the receivers. And, of course, we'll meet the rest of them as the day goes along. The Dukes about set to start a rare afternoon game here at York High School. I think we were here for the last time they played under the sunlight, although not exactly sunlight today. That was the Wheaton Warrenville South game in the playoffs 2 years ago.
That was an excellent ball game, and York had a shot to win that. and unfortunately couldn't come up with it in the fourth quarter. They had a touchdown call back, and Wheaton Warrenville South eventually beat them, holding on for a victory. And we'll see the Larkin Royals getting set to kick off here. York with a little bit of last-minute advice from Coach Gary Grauwinkle and company, and we're getting ready to kick things off here.
Shannon O'Sullivan, Keisha Robinson, Captain Lawrence.
It will be Larkin kicking it off,
Captain Janine Schultz,
and York to receive.
Jenny Marie.
Coach Grauwinkle and his staff giving the last-minute instructions before we kick it off today. First round of the playoffs. Oh yeah, get the gum ready. We all set for the kickoff. Get the nerves going already. Yeah, start chomping on the gum before the kickoff.
At least it's not too cold. Previous...
Or raining. It was
Yeah.
threatening to do both today. Be cold and raining, but it's turned out to be a pretty good day so far.
Well, it has rained a lot this week, and you see the middle section of the field is worn down, so that might play a bit of a factor, especially in the second half.
He's to receive number 21, Eric Anderson, and number 25, Max Malinkovich.
Max Malinkovich and Eric Anderson deep to receive the kickoff. It'll be Chad Bartlett kicking, or rather that's Teddy Johnson kicking for Elgin Larkin. It's fielded at the 15 by Malinkovich. And up to about the 34-yard line.
About the 34-yard line where he's
That's where York will start.
Made by number 4, Prince Simpson. The Dukes will have it there, first and 10.
Mike Connors at quarterback. Connors on the year, 63 of 115 passing. That's about a 53% completion rate, 968 yards, 6 touchdowns.
I think more importantly, he's also thrown 9 interceptions.
True.
So, we'll see if the Larkin defense can be opportunistic and
I
get in some of those passing lanes.
I think 3 of those were against Hinsdale Central as well. That is something York will certainly want to avoid, as well as any playoff team. You don't want to turn the ball over, especially in your own territory here. First and 10, and a good first carry for Malinkovich.
Stop was made by number 75, Matt Paul.
That'll mark him across the 40 to the 42, so an 8-yard pickup.
Well, a nice run on the inside by Malinkovich. He really hit that up right outside the tackle. But I think if he could have got outside a block by number 81, Rick Hoffman, he had a lot of room to the outside. But nonetheless, a nice run, good gain on first down, pickup of a little bit more than 8, second down, and a very short 2.
Has to get just beyond the 43. This will be Brown, first down to the 45, still going to the 46, and that'll move the chains.
45 to about the 46. Stop was made by number 44.
Spotted at the 46.
Number 27, Matt
Brown on the year, 6.1 yards per carry and 9 touchdowns.
And Malinkovich came off after that first carry. He's hobbling on the sideline, and that would be a devastating blow to the York Dukes to lose their leading rusher on the first carry of the game. And he's walking very gingerly on the sideline now. The trainers are getting set to take another look at his ankle.
Yeah, he is, in fact, sitting down now and going to be examined here. First and 10, Anderson. Tries to turn the corner, picks up about 1 yard.
Anderson, stop made by number 43, Evan Williams.
Evan Williams on the
Anderson
stop.
gains 3 yards on the play. Second and
But that's
7
not a
for the
bad
Dukes.
guy to have coming off your bench. Eric Anderson rushed for 985 yards last year. And you see Malinkovich on the sidelines being tended to by the training staff here at York.
In fact, they're giving that ankle the close look. This year, Anderson at 5.7 yards per carry. Boy, that says a lot for the York offensive line. They have 4 players averaging over 5 yards per carry. Connors the hand, Anderson again. Good hole on the left. Still spinning forward close to the 40. The 42 is where he's finally brought down of Elgin Larkin. First down again for York. Boy, good close up there. Diagnose at home with that kind of a look. Do we have any podiatrists watching?
Well, so far, very nice job by the York offensive line. That time pulling a couple linemen. A nice big hole once again, and another first down for the Dukes.
First and 10. Stratton in motion. They pitch that way to Anderson. Trying to cut back in. Met by a swarm of Elgin Larkin players, and he'll go nowhere.
Number 78, Aaron Hallett.
So, little or no gain. of about half a yard maybe on that carry for Anderson.
Yard on the play.
Aaron Hellab with a tackle, number 78.
Also on that play, Brian Smith, he was the one that really clogged things up. He's their leading tackler. Outside linebacker really stepped up and got into the hole to clog things up, and only gained him about 1 on the play, and the officials timeout right now.
Well, that puts getting a lot of attention and camera time here early. Max Milinkovic. And now the head coach of York, Gary Grauwinkle, in your picture.
Yeah, they're telling the band director not to blow his whistle.
We have a,
Could the whistle be blown and the band please be stopped at this time? It's confusing the game officials. Thank you.
Someone in the band or the band director maybe, even, or someone in the stands certainly is blowing a whistle and throwing up all kinds of confusion out on the field. So we'll whistle a halt to that. 2nd and 9. Just underway here. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. York moving the ball with 2 first downs into Elgin Larkin territory. Connors his first pass, drops the throw. Deep down the middle, has a man, complete to the 10-yard line, Eric Anderson. 31-yard pickup, Connors to Anderson.
Well, that was just a great job by Anderson and a nice poise in the pocket by quarterback Connors. Matt Myers, the cornerback, number 27, let Anderson get to the inside of him, and Connors sat back in the pocket, showed good poise, led his receiver perfectly down the middle of the field. And the York offense, after starting the game, running the football right at Larkin, opens things up, and Connors completes the pass to Anderson for a nice gain.
Anderson, 8 catches, 91 yards before that one, the number 2 receiver on York. Big play there. Brown in motion. They will sweep right with the Anderson. Lowers the shoulder, and he's half the way to the goal line to the 5.
Good job by the strong safety, number 3, Fernando Garcia, to come up and make that stop. Brown taking the sweep to the outside, tried to get around the corner. He thought he saw a little bit of daylight, tried to cut it back, and a nice tackle that time by Fernando Garcia.
They'll mark it right at the 5, 2nd down and goal for York. Well, actually, they can get to about the 1-foot line or inside the 1-foot line to get another first down, but I don't think they want to play it that close. I like to punch it in here.
There you see
We
strong
look at
safety.
Garcia, number 3 of Elgin Larkin. Anderson again. Boy, bounces off the would-be tackler and very close to the goal line. He just lowered the left shoulder and kind of plowed through for a little more opening.
York offensive line is doing a tremendous job. They're just blowing Larkin off the football right now. Huge hole that time on the right side, following right guard number 62, Matt Moran. And Anderson took it up in there. 3rd down and a very short one, right on the doorstep, just inside the 1-yard line.
In fact, about a foot to go for the touchdown and a half foot to go for a first down. Connors will keep it. Running left, touchdown. Right behind the left guard and took it in. York jumps on top. An impressive drive to start the ball game. 6 yards, 9 plays. And a lot of it done without Max Milinkovic, who is still being tended to on the sideline.
Well, just a tremendous job that time by the York offensive line, really dominating the line of scrimmage and opening up some big holes for Anderson and Brown. And toss in a couple passes. Nice pass by Connors to Anderson on the post. Got it, beat the corner on the inside and led him perfectly down the field, and York is on the board to start the game.
Fake field goal or extra point. Connors will throw, and it'll be a 2-point conversion. Eric Anderson with the reception as the holder Connors. And that's another lift for the Dukes as they rejoice on the sidelines with an 8-0 lead.
Well, that's not the first time that York has faked the extra point and gone for 2. They did that in the big victory against Lions early in the season on Continental Cablevision. That time, the nice play by Connors, gets the snap and rolls to the right and lofts a nice pass into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 7:17 to go in the first quarter. And York starting impressively here in the 1995 state football playoffs.
Well, Larkin with 5 shutouts. They will not be getting a 6th today, as York has seen to that immediately.
Well, I think this is where the story will be told. If the York defense can come up big against the high-powered Larkin offense, as we talked about at the beginning, Larkin averaging 35.9 points per game. An outstanding sophomore running back, Vince Weber, 22 touchdowns on the season, 897 yards rushing, 10.6 per carry. And you talked about it, Dave. Big plays left and right by this Larkin offense this year.
And another good player, their quarterback, Joel Castillo, passing for over 1,000 yards. We will be seeing the diversified attack in a few moments. So far it has been York with about a 5-minute possession, driving it in for the touchdown. Anderson with 22 yards on the drive and a 31-yard pass reception as well from Connors. Fielded on 3 hops at the 15. And diving forward to the 31. That's Vince Weber, number 2. That'll be the number to watch today.
And I think that was an intentional squib kick by York, trying to avoid getting the football in Weber's hands, but he picked it up on the bounce and ran it back. But the squib kick didn't allow him to see his lanes very well, and Larkin starts things off at the 32.
And with Crow's head offense, only one back in the backfield as flags fly, and in fact the play will be blown dead. Completion to Teddy Johnson, the number 1 receiver for the Royals, but illegal procedure on the Royals will bring it back.
Well, that time a nice job by Castillo, setting up the screen pass to the wide receiver on the outside, and they brought the back in motion and had a couple blockers set, but little movement before the snap, and Larkin goes back 5 yards, first down and 15 now from the 26.
Pete Twardowski, number 78. We just saw one of the blockers who did a great job on that first possession for York. Opening holes just about every play. A couple of 1-yard runs along the way, but boy, most of them 5-6 yards. And when you're doing that, you're going to move the football, and that's exactly what York did all the way into the end zone. This is Weber. He gets some running room. Finally hit by Anderson and Brown, but not before he's picked up the 5 and a little more out to the 35.
Well, there was a big hole there, but Anderson and Brown stepped up to close it up pretty quickly. Gain of about 8. So they pick up a good chunk of change on first down, second down, and 7 now for the Royals.
Dig themselves out of a 1st and 15 situation. And now Castillo will bring him up to the line here. 2 backs this time. Terry Kennedy also in the backfield. Quick hitter. This is Johnson. Be close to a first down.
Well, York is
brought down finally by Justin Kirsch, 88.
York has come out playing man coverage on the first 2 plays. When he's got big play threats on the outside like Johnson, going to have to be careful, because if he sheds one tackle, he's gone the distance. But that time, a nice job, a nice tackle. 3rd down and 1 for Larkin.
Just outside the 40 with 5:45 left first quarter, 8-0 York. And again, flags as Kennedy on the carry, but this play blown dead as well. And
flag down on the snap.
The full house in the backfield and 2 tight ends, but well, this one will be offside on York.
That'll make your
first down.
3rd down conversion pretty simple. When the defense jumps off sides, Larkin gets a freebie, and we've seen them empty out the backfield, putting the back in motion and running the swing pass on the first play of the game. That time you see 2 tights and 3 backs, so a varied offensive attack for the Royals. First down now. York jumping off sides, and just looking at Weber after 1 carry, he's an exciting runner.
Again, short drop. Castillo now going deep for Johnson, leaping catch. And he has it inside the 25.
Well, that was just a great catch. A pump and go by Castillo, and Johnson with a nice job looked back for the ball and reached up, jumped, caught the ball at its highest point, just like all good receivers do. And good coverage on the play by number 11, Matt McCoy. He was down there, but he didn't look back for the football. You see the pump fake. You see Castillo loft the ball, and Johnson with the nice job of jumping up and catching the football.
This is Weber as we're back to live action, and he bounces forward to about the 21. Well, we talked about the Larkin offense. We talked about the York defense. So far, both offenses are stealing the show, though. In the early going, we played about 7 minutes. York has scored, and Larkin is threatening.
As long as both teams do some scoring and we don't have another blowout, I think everybody will go home happy.
Movement on the line. York players applauding. About 2 or 3 of them had jumped. And that's who it's going against. Offside on York.
Well, obviously, Larkin quarterback Joel Castillo, is doing a nice job of varying his cadence. That's the second time York has jumped off sides. So free 5 yards for the Larkin offense. Second down now and about 3. Or a long 2.
Kennedy and Weber in the backfield. And they pitch right. This is Kennedy. To the 15, a flag comes down as he struggles forward to the 10 from the backfield. Back at about the 18, this will very well nullify the first down. In fact, they're talking to Brown and definitely march back Larkin.
Well, and Kennedy's had a good year as well, Dave. 124 carries on the season, 746 yards, 6 yards per carry. Scored 5 touchdowns as well. We're talking to the Larkin offensive coaches before the game. They said Kennedy's the guy that gets the tough yards. If they needed 3-4 yards, Kennedy's the guy. And that time they gave the ball to him, and Weber had 1 block, and Kennedy was brought down after a short gain, but a hold brings it back in a second down and 13 yards to go now for Larkin.
Castillo looks back to the air. Looking left, underneath, complete to Weber. Brown with good pursuit, able to bring him down at about the 17-yard line. Still a bit short of a first down, but about a pickup of 10.
That was just a well-designed play. Castillo dropped back, had 3 receivers going deep, and offensive line did a nice job of pass protection. Castillo sat in the pocket, and he saw Weber coming out of the backfield, running into the flat. Led him nicely, put the ball right on his numbers, and a good gain. 3 yards short of the first down, however. Third down now from the 18-yard line.
8-0 York with the lead. Again, the York defense looked like they jumped. Castillo, now they're a little antsy, and maybe his snap count is confusing as well. And it is offside York. This will be a first down. That's twice on this drive now that offside has brought up first down, and 3 offside York calls in total. 15 yards in penalties aiding the Larkin drive. 2 very timely ones. Or untimely, depending on your perspective. Puts the ball at about the 12. First and 10. 3:10 to go in the first quarter. This is Weber getting outside, cutting back in to the 5.
And I'll go to number 2, Vince Weber.
17 and
Number 17.
Jim Miller on the stop.
And that's what Weber does so well. That time he appeared to be stopped for a small gain, made the first guy miss, and then he slid in between 2 others, finally brought down after a gain of 7.
Chris Chapin also on the tackle along with Miller. We'll take another look at this one. Well, York was sending a lot of people on that play. And Weber able to get outside on the run. Second down. Castillo looking to throw. Lobbing towards the corner. A little bumping, incomplete, but a flag. We'll see which way this one goes. Weber, the intended receiver, Miller on the coverage.
I think Weber might have pushed off a little bit.
It's going on York. Well, I agree with you, Kevin. I thought looked like Weber did get the push off to get position, and as we'll take another look.
With the left forearm, you saw Weber get the push off, but what we say doesn't matter. The referees down on the field call it against York, and for the 3rd time on this drive, Larkin has a first down thanks to a York penalty.
From 3, ball juggled, still loose. Still fighting for it, York has it. Chris Chapin coming up with it. Never able to get a handle was Weber, and York has it at the 8.
Well, just a great job by the York defense. Had a few bad breaks. Tough call on that pass interference. 2 offsides penalties. And this time you see the pitch. And the pitch hit the running back in the chest, and he never really had a handle on it. And York comes away. They wrestle the ball out of there. And Chris Chapane gets the fumble recovery. The York offense back on the field now with 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Have the ball at their own 8. Tight end Kevin Ryan lines up left. Handoff, they run that way. And this is Anderson across the 10 to about the 13.
Nice tackle that time by Matt Myers, the corner, providing the run support on the right side. He came up and made a sure tackle, 2 arms, and brought down Anderson. A nice game, though, on first down. The York offensive line continuing to do a good job.
Set the ball at the 13-yard line. And single split out, and this is Anderson.
Number 21, Eric Anderson with the carry.
Close to a first down across the 15 to about the 17.
Well, Larkin that time had 8 men in the box, and they're trying to stop York's running game. Send a couple of the linebackers. Also brought the outside linebacker Brian Smith right up the middle. And York just short of a first down, 3rd down and about 1.
John Bischoff, Pete Twardowski, Matt Moran, Jim Costello on that offensive line, among others. 3rd down and 1. And doing the job. This is Anderson again.
Number
This
21,
down,
Eric Anderson
20.
with the carry. Across the 20-yard line to about the 21. Good for first down yardage.
Also, of course, Scott Lestina, 74 in there, along with Frank Rohde at the guard position.
You're going to see a lot of that today, picking the mud out of the shoes to try and get some traction, especially in the second half once this field gets chewed up.
We look down at another foot, and Max Milinkovic still with the shoe off. It looks like he's icing the left ankle now. He carried the ball once and then had to come out of the ball game, but York's still moving the ball without him. Their top rusher. This is Anderson. This time, Larkin able to string him out and hold him to about 1 yard. 4th straight carry for Eric Anderson. Happy birthday. There's a gentleman celebrating his 50th birthday here at the York camp.
Didn't appear to be too happy about it either.
He's probably thrilled to have it announced too, but fortunately it's been done. 2nd and 9. Are you to the point yet where the birthdays are dreaded as
And at the end of the first quarter,
the first quarter comes to an end? York will have the ball at the 22 when the second quarter begins. So York taking the ball. 5-minute drive to start the game, and that's the story thus far. Then forcing a fumble inside their own 10-yard line. The Dukes leading Elgin Larkin 8-0 after 1.
Picasso painted the old guitarist during a period of depression that lasted 4 years, his blue period. Today, with new discoveries, 80% of depressive disorders are being successfully treated, giving hope to millions that maybe now, nobody has to have a blue period.
Math, 4-letter word, right? Hey, you don't need that.
Why design the world's newest chips?
When you could be flipping the world's oldest burger. Hey, wait a minute. This is math. Geometry, algebra.
No pocket protectors here.
But you're cruising without math. You're right. Take a good look.
That's math staring back at you.
Not a problem, man. It's an answer. Call NACME. We'll tell you what you need to do.
Tommy wants to design bridges when he grows up. Maybe he'll design one that you'll use. Now, would you like this free booklet of simple ways you can help improve his education? Call 1-800-96-PROMISE. Dave
Owen along with Kevin Krebs back at York. And the Dukes with the ball at the 22-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Connors, play action, now throwing deep, complete to Ryan. Across the 40 to the 41. Tight end Kevin Ryan, 6'4", 205 pounds, making the catch.
Well, once again, a nice job by the quarterback Connors of lofting that football in there, throwing in between 4 defenders. And the York offense grinding it out on the ground and then throwing deep as they did on their first drive. You see Connors back to pass, and he just put some air under this one and right in between 4 defenders, and a nice catch. Another first down for York.
And Ryan at 6'4", a big target, and made the nice reach and grab for that one. That reception putting Connors over 1,000 yards passing for the year. This is Anderson. Good juke and into the clear. Nearly jumped over another tackler, but he's finally brought down at the 28-yard line. A tremendous run. Only Ken Scott of Elgin Larkin preventing a touchdown.
Well, York is really pumped up right now, Dave. I don't think they expected to dominate on the offensive line as well as they have. And
Timeout,
Anderson
Larkin.
very excited, obviously having a tremendous ball game. Milinkovic shouldered the burden most of this year for York, and Anderson has just stepped up nicely. You see him shake one tackler right there and break it into the open field. Tried to cut it back, but Scott, a nice shoestring tackle on the play, bringing Anderson down. But the York offensive line doing a tremendous job opening big holes.
Boy, and you even had John Bischoff a tackle about 20 yards downfield on that play, running interference. So that offensive line doing the job at the line and even downfield, as it turns out. On the big run for Anderson there, 30 yards for him. He's up to 66 rushing on the day now.
We talked about Larkin having 5 shutouts this season, but in the 2 games they lost to St. Charles and to Lake Park, they gave up 40 points against St. Charles and 38 to Lake Park. And those were the only 2 playoff teams that they faced this year. And those teams obviously had success offensively, so Larkin is going to have to hold tight here in the second quarter to keep their offense in the ballgame. But when you have big play potential, you're never out of it.
And of course, the only thing stopping that last drive was a fumble at the 3-yard line of York. But the big problem now is stopping the York offense, which has been unstoppable so far. George Brown with a good chunk of yardage across the 25.
Pete Twardorski, number 78, did a nice job coming from his right tackle position, sealing off the middle of that offensive line. And Brown got it up in there, a nice gain on first down once again. Almost 6 yards on the play, inside the 25 now, down near the Elgin 23.
Brown now 2 carries, 10 yards thus far. It's been mostly Anderson with a few Connors passes and Brown runs thrown in. This is Brown again this time. Larkin stopping him immediately.
Big number 75, Matt Palm, 6'1", 210-pound junior. Did a nice job of knifing through his gap, coming in there and bringing the York ball carrier down. No gain on that play. And that's what Elgin Larkin's going to have to do. They're going to have their guys come up and step up on the defensive line. And I think we get a timeout now by York.
Larkin took one a few moments ago after the Anderson run to try to stop the bleeding, and now York going to talk it over here on a 3rd and 4. Eight to nothing York, 10:24 left in the first half. We look at the Larkin sideline. Well, the Dukes last year tied for the conference title, but lost out on a playoff berth because they had 5 wins and didn't win on the conference tiebreaker. But they are back strong this year. Let's listen in on what they're saying here on 3rd and 4.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, all right.
That's Terry Clark, the offensive line coach of York. Been doing the job and well instructing his players, and they have certainly executed the instructions to a T thus far.
And you were talking about York tying for the conference title last year, did make the playoffs. This time 7-2 they did make. And York is tied or won outright 7 of the last 10 conference titles in the West Suburban Silver Conference.
Connors looking now back to the right, throwing, extended, great catch inside the 10. Again, it's the tight end, Kevin Ryan. Great hands again by the tight end.
Well, great hands, nice catch by Ryan, and a good job once again by the quarterback, Connors, reversing out, rolling to his right, throwing a nice pass, very catchable ball. The receiver dives for it. See Connors open up to the left, roll back to the right, sets up nicely, gets his feet under him, fires the ball, and a nice diving catch. York with a first down inside the 10 at about the 8.
3 of 365 yards now for Mike. They go back to the ground. And look at him moving the pile there. Is it up to about the 5-yard line? That is George Brown.
Well, that time York tried to go on the quick count and catch Elgin Larkin off balance. Pick up of almost 3 yards on the play, ball sitting just outside the 5.
9:40 to go in the first half. 8-0 York on top.
We've talked about the nice job that the York offensive line has done opening holes for the running game, but Connors has been on the money with his passing.
Another long count. This one he hands to Anderson. He's actually mixed the long counts, as Kevin mentioned. They had a quick count on the last one. This time Anderson, though, inside the 5 to about the 2.
Anderson inside the 5-yard line to about the 4. Third down.
They mark him actually closer to the 4-yard line.
I think his knee was down at
Okay.
about the 4, and the ball was sitting at about the 2.
There you
So
see.
York calling another timeout, though, to think this one over. They don't want to blow this scoring opportunity down at the 4-yard line now with 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
They'll have one timeout left here in the first half. And this is a very good timeout. You certainly want to have a lot at the end of the game. You don't want to be squandering them early in the second half, but when you have a good scoring opportunity like this, you don't want to stumble at the goal line as a youngster might. That's the way. Kind of give them a lift when needed. And a David Letterman fan as well.
Well, and I think the interesting thing that Gary Grauwinkle is talking about right now is, you know, if we don't get it now, are we going to go for it on 4th down? If they don't go for it on 4th down, you know, do they want to try a field goal? And if they do want to try a field goal, where
Let's
are they
find
going to?
out. Let's hear from Gary Grauwinkle. We can listen to him.
Right, 12, extra one. Everyone walk back and I get the gap. You got the big gap. Still right there. Both guys are coming up and toss the ball to your tight end. Get a touchdown. One of the tight ends. Here we go. You got to get outside. Strong left. Rest. Extra one.
Well, I said strong left, and then at the last second there, he said X or Y. So that leads me to think you're either going to look for the split end or the tight end on the pass. So
That'd be Stratton or Ryan. Stratton split out left. Connors pump fakes, gets rid of it. Touchdown. And it's Ryan, the tight end. What a play by Connors.
that was just a tremendous play by Connors. Appeared to be wrapped up in the backfield. Had Stratton open, but couldn't see him because he was tangled up. Spins out of the grasp of the Larkin defender. Throws it low, and a nice catch once again by Ryan. You see they put the back in motion to the right, trying to get Elgin off balance. You see the corner come off the side, and he just fires it as he's falling down. A nice catch by Ryan. York up now 14-0 with 8:56 to go here in the first half.
Boy, Connors was all wrapped up from the waist down, but the arm was free, and he was able to find Ryan with a great play. Connors on the money throughout this first half, throwing the football there for a touchdown. Extra point added by Stratton. And boy, is Mike Connors fired up as he comes back to the sideline.
Well, he's been perfect here this afternoon, and that time just a tremendous job of keeping his poise in the pocket, defender in his face, but the defender had him by the legs. His arm was free. He was able to get rid of the football. And another touchdown on the board for the York Dukes. They've come out in impressive fashion this afternoon. The footballs are flying into the stands. Cheerleaders are whipping them, into the top row with that last one. Taking some lessons from Connors, I
Was that
guess.
the cheerleader with the number 7 on? It would only be fitting if it was. That one went all the way to the top row. And the number 7 on the field has been top-notch throughout this game. 4 of 4 passing, now a touchdown, a 31-yard completion, and also a 2-point pass thrown in there. All those numbers in the book for York. They're getting to be pretty big numbers, too, at this point in this first half. 15-0 the lead, and 2 long drives. Kick deep and into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Elgin will take it at the 20.
To the end zone and out of the end zone. Ball come out to the 20-yard line. The Royals will have it there, 1st and 10.
Well, what little wind there is was at the kicker's back that time. Kick goes out of the end zone.
There's Ryan, who made the catch, and he made 3 great catches on that drive. One of 19 yards on the first play of the second quarter, then a 15-yarder on 3rd and 4, and then the touchdown on 3rd and 6. Or 3rd and goal at the 4, as it turned out. Big catches all, though. And on first down for Elgin Larkin, it's Kennedy. Hit immediately.
A big stick that time by number 31, Justin Bricker.
And the tackle. Gain of a yard on the play. 2nd and 9 for the Royals.
Give him about a half a yard on that pickup for Kennedy. 2 rushers over 750 yards on the season for Elgin Larkin, but Kennedy held in check there. Now we have a timeout on the field as Anderson has an equipment problem. Gingerly removing the helmet. In fact, it might be, he was a little shaken up. And that's exactly what it is.
Well, he looks a little woozy.
His eye, his left eye looks like it might have been poked in there. Well, Milinkovic still on the bench, icing the ankle, and Anderson has filled in ably for him offensively. If they lose him, then they go a little bit deeper. Castillo eludes the pressure, complete. Flag comes down after the grab to the 33-yard line. Justin Byer with a catch. The 6'4" tight end for Larkin.
You see
Number 84,
Anderson washing out his eye. I don't know if he got poked or he just got something in there, but hopefully he'll be back in the ball game. And you see Castillo faking it to the 2 backs, stepping up and firing a bullet, completes the pass. Actually, pass interference on the call anyway, but they'll decline that penalty. On the coverage, number 84, the free safety, Chris Chapin.
I think they'll probably take the penalty. They'll get an extra 2 yards out of it.
Okay.
It's a 13-yard completion instead they'll take the 15-yard penalty up to the 36.
Being the former quarterback, if you've got a nice 13-yard completion, you'd like to keep that to pump up your stats a little bit. But 2 extra yards will benefit the team, so Larkin takes it. First down now at the 35-yard line.
The flag at half-mast after the Prairie Grove tragedy earlier this week here at York and high school statewide. Weber on first down out to midfield. Weber with 14 yards on first down.
A big hole on the outside that time, and Weber found it. Got to the outside, picked up 14, and Chris Chapin with the shoestring tackle to bring Weber down. And the ball sitting at midfield now. And Larkin drove impressively on their first series of the game and doing it again here.
On the ground, Weber, ball comes out, but he's down already. Todd Bennis was on the recovery, but it's play blown dead. Weber will be given a pickup of about 3.
On the play, recovered by the Royals. 3 yards on the play, 2nd and 7.
Weber putting up pretty good numbers so far. 6 carries, 35 yards. He did fumble on a pitch inside the 5-yard line on Larkin's last possession. Castillo, short drop, complete to Johnson, but nothing there. Miller stepping up to make the play, and Justin Kirsch also there to run interference and slow up Johnson.
Well, we've seen that play in the first quarter. Castillo drops back with the quick screen, that time to the left side. Weber trying to get out and get the lead block, but a nice job by Miller coming up to make the tackle after a very short gain. 3rd down and about 6 now for the Royal offense.
Things are really flowing well for York right now, you might say.
I'd rather not say, but
or would you prefer York pouring it on up 15-0? Right now it's a little early to be pouring it on, though. Weber slowed up. He'll be short of the first down. Stratton, one of the main tacklers there, and at the 42-yard line, it'll be 4th and 2 for Elgin Larkin.
I really like Elgin Larkin's offensive scheme. They really mix things up nicely. Run inside, run outside, run the screens, a lot of fakes, play action here, there, everywhere. That time, a nice run on third down, but Tim Stratton holding his ground, bringing the ball carrier down. Fourth down now and about 2, and Larkin's thinking it over. They'll probably go for it.
You would think at the 42 with 6:24 left in the first half. And not much need to punt. It's not giving great field position. And the way their offense is done, the 2 yards very makeable. They will have a timeout here and talk it over. Their second timeout of the half. Each team will have 1 remaining. We get the visual update on Max Milinkovic. It's Terry Greider out talking to the defense, the varsity defensive coordinator. Been at York since 1973. And that group of his has done a great job this year. 175 yards per game allowed to opposing offenses. Here they're hoping to avoid a 2-yard pickup for Larkin on 4th and 2. Castillo will pitch to Kennedy, trying to run right. Looks to have the first inside the 40 and up to about the 36.
And that's the man the Royals go to for the tough yards. Kennedy once again doing the job, getting outside around the corner, picks up the first down, and the drive continues for the Royals.
Mark him at the 37, 5-yard pickup. Their third first down of this drive. And for the game, that's 7 first downs for Larkin. Johnson split out left, 1st and 10. And up the middle, Weber has nowhere to go.
And out goes number 2, Vince Weber, was met at the line of scrimmage and stopped.
Stratton and Twardowski among the main tacklers there, and no gain at all.
Gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Stratton, a tremendous two-way player. In addition to being a top defensive back, 2-year starter, only a junior still, also with 35 receptions, 4 times more than anybody on the York roster.
Not just 35 receptions, but at 17 yards a crack, that's pretty impressive.
And 5 touchdowns, and an excellent kicker. Kennedy breaking it. Sidestep the tackler, he's inside the 5, he's in the end zone. Terrence Kennedy in the end zone for a 37-yard touchdown run.
And the York defense that prides itself on being good tacklers, that time Kennedy just ran right through 3 arm tackles and broke it all the way into the end zone. And that's what Larkin needed. They're right back in this ball game.
Larkin using their last time out here. It's kind of a surprise.
And you see Kennedy get the ball, a nice block. They block Stratton, sheds 1 tackle, sheds 2 tackles, and then it's just a foot race into the end zone. A last-ditch effort by Miller. Falls short. Kennedy into the end zone. The Royals now with the decision here. Looks like they'll probably go for 2 on this possession. 5 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the first half. 15-6, they trail the Dukes. The Duke defense now thinking it over. And they just got to say, hey, you know, we've been there all day. We just let them slip out, a few arm tackles and a nice block at the point of attack. They got Stratton out of the way, and then Kennedy did the rest, just a foot race to the end zone. And the Royals are on the board for the first time.
It's an 80-play drive, or an 80-yard drive, rather, on 8 plays.
That would be pretty darn impressive.
That would be very impressive.
What an impressive drive nonetheless.
What would be the maximum number of plays? We'll let you work on that little math problem this week instead of a trivia question.
The most I've ever seen in a game was a 19-play drive.
I guess the maximum would be...
Never seen over 20, although it's probably possible.
38, 40 maybe? Well, anyway, extra point coming. Marcus Adamson can kick it. Connors watches, Adamson kicks, and it is good.
Well, looks like they'll go for 2 on their next score if they get in the end zone again, but the extra point good, 15-7 now.
It's maybe a little early to be going for 2. I don't know. I don't know what the thinking is in that case. I just wonder why they took the timeout at that situation. You say they have 1 left. I'm not sure if they do, but we'll find out as the half progresses. I thought they used 2 on that drive and then 1 defensively earlier.
True.
5:36 to go in the first half. So far, both teams have kind of marched right down the field. The only difference right now is that fumble, which Chris Chapin recovered inside the 10-yard line to stop Elgin Larkin earlier.
Well, the Elgin Larkin defense is definitely going to have to step up here. Shut down York before the half and try and get the ball back for their high-powered offense. 15-7 now, one score, and they're right back in it going into the locker room. And more importantly, they'll probably have the momentum if they can shut down York right now. See if
there's a sampling of some of the rain we had earlier today. But it is clear. Well, it's not clear, but it isn't raining. It's certainly overcast.
we'll take what we can get.
Exactly. Checking off from the 40.
Number 33, Chris
It will be
Anderson. And
Johnson.
number 21, Eric Anderson. Deep to receive.
Chris Anderson, 33. Eric Anderson, 21. Deep for York to receive Johnson's kick. Comes to the front line, actually. Brown juggles. Chris Anderson will field it. And good coverage by Elgin Larkin as Chris Anderson brought down right at the 22.
Kent's got a nice job coming all the way around from the left side. And just a tremendous job of knifing in there and bringing down the ball carrier. We'll get to take another look. You'll see Scott, he's on the left side. He comes all the way around. He stays in his lane. He's at the top of your screen and slowly works his way into the middle and uses his great speed and brings down the kick returner. And he's fired up about it too. York sitting at their 23 now, 5 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the first half.
He ran a long way and created a clear route for himself by doing so. Connors, deep drop underneath the Brown on the screen. Blockers in front. Brown breaks it into the secondary. He'll have a first down out across the 35.
Well, there was just excellent pace to that play right there. Brown did a nice job of pretending like he was blocking, slipped off. The line did a nice job of holding their blocks initially before letting the defensive line come through. And Mike Connors a nice job sitting back in the pocket, allowing the defense to come at him before he dumped the ball off to Brown. A nice screen play, 15-yard pickup for Mike Connors on the pass to Brown.
5 for 5, 84 yards now for Connors on the day. Most of that done by the feet of George Brown, though. The pitch, this is Eric Anderson running left. Still on his feet. He may have first down yardage as he's out to about the 48-yard line and looks to have another first down for York.
Well, a nice job on the block by Kevin Ryan, number 90.
They now mark it as a first down. First and 10 Dukes from their own 47-yard line.
We'll see the pitch to the outside. The middle's clogged up, and he just uses his speed. Anderson gets to the outside and delivers a little blow there to number 27. Matt Myers taking one on the chin, and first down for Anderson, and the Duke offense just continuing to march right down the field.
Definitely a blanket day. Day for a blanket, and Elgin Larkin trying to blanket the York offense, but it hasn't been easy. Connors this time being elusive. Trying to get rid of it, brought down. York wants a face mask, and boy, they're not going to get it as at the 45-yard line, Connors with a 2-yard loss. And boy, is the York coaching staff upset about that one. Look at Terry Clark throwing his arms up and still pleading his case. Gary Grauwinkle hoping to calm him down a little bit here before the flag flies in another direction.
Well, I'm not going to make too many friends on this play, but we'll take another peek. You see Connor shed 2 tackles right there. He has the receiver open and tackle right around the neck. I don't think he had the face mask, but you don't like to see him tackle up around the head either. And Connors is shaken up on the play. He's hobbling.
Yeah, you could see as he went down,
his knee.
The knee was the problem after getting raked across the face. He came down very awkwardly on the knee, and he's walking it off right now. Now running it off, as you see, number 7 in green. 4:21 to go in the first half, 15-7 York, first round of the Class 6A playoffs. We're going to take another look here. The winner playing Stevenson next week.
And you see Connors with the play action. Gets rid of that one tackle, runs outside of the other one. And you see the receiver open there, number 81, and I think Connors was hesitating because he wasn't sure if he was past the line of scrimmage yet. And then you see him grab that right leg and roll around in pain.
Casey Kluckstall, number 5, defensive back, made the hit. Three-yard loss as it turned out.
Kluckstall, their free safety, leading interceptor on the team, tied with number 6, Kent Scott. 4 picks each on the season. Connors back in the ball game. Second down and 13.
2 split outs this time. Anderson and Stratton throwing for Anderson. Diving attempt at the 41 of Larkin. It's complete.
Well, just a great job by Connors, shaking off the sore right leg with the sprint out to the left side. Did a nice job of squaring his shoulders, and another diving catch by the York offense. You see him laying on the ground there, but he shakes it off, rolls to the left side, gets the ball up in good throwing position, fires it out into the left flat. A nice diving catch. And York, another first down into Larkin territory now at the 41.
Anderson comes in motion. Connors rolling right. Looking to throw towards the sideline. Leaping! And complete. Stratton with a tremendous catch at about the 30-yard line.
Well, another nice pass by Connors on the rollout once again. They rolled left last time. They rolled right. They ran the comeback route to the outside. Stratton getting good push off. You'll see Stratton on the right side. Connors rolling out, waiting until Stratton turns and fires the football, and a nice leaping grab on the sideline by Stratton. Another first down for York. They're inside the 30 now at the 29.
Ken Scott on the coverage, but Stratton able to make the grab, and that's 7 for 7 for Connors. 2 for 2 since the injury. He's shaking that off. He'll go back to the air. Going deep right sideline. He's got Anderson complete inside the 10 to the 8. That is twice that Anderson has snuck into the secondary deep down the middle, that time a little bit towards the right sideline, but open, and this time for 22 yards.
Those plays are just very well designed. You see Connors, he opens to the left side, so the defense looks that way, and then they sneak the back out to the right side, and Connors has just been on the money all day long, still hasn't thrown an incomplete pass. And another nice catch by Anderson in traffic. He gets hit, but manages to hold on to the football. The York offense now at the 7-yard line.
Stratton comes in motion left to right. They run that way with a pitch. Anderson dives close, but they mark him down as they say his knees hit at about the 1. Eric Anderson went airborne from about the 2-yard line and just wound up short as they rule that he was down. His knees hit just outside the goal line, inside the 1 though.
Well, and if York's smart right now, inside of 3 minutes to go in the first half, Connors should hold his team up at the line of scrimmage to let some of that play clock run down. But they're on the doorstep now at the 1-yard line.
Connors will sneak for his second touchdown.
21-7 in favor of the Dukes.
Elgin Larkin scores. York comes right back, and it's 21-7.
The York offense just unstoppable. You can figure that York would run the football, but who would have thought Connors would come out and have the kind of day he's having?
8 plays, 78 yards, and it was almost all Connors on that one. 4 for 4 passing on the drive for 62 yards, and then capping it off with a quarterback snake. Stratton with the extra point. Attempt with Connors to hold. It's down. It is up and no good, wide to the left. So with 2:49 left in the first half, York has scored again. And it is 21-7 Dukes. We'll go to a break and come right back with the rest of the first half.
There's an awesome power that can eliminate over half of our nation's defense forces. It's everywhere, and it can strike at any time. Who has this incredible power? You do. If you employ National Guard and Reserve members, you need to use your power wisely, because today, the Guard and Reserve make up over half of our country's defense. So when they need time off to serve, be a hero. Give them the freedom to protect ours.
Connors, the 1-yard touchdown run, making it 21-7, and now Tim Stratton will be kicking off.
Receive number 2, Vince Weber, along with number 7, Teddy Johnson.
See Weber and Johnson. Stratton booms another one into the end zone for a touchback. So the 20 is where Larkin will start. That's 2 straight touchbacks by Stratton. What do you think of that? You're not allowed to return the kicks into the end zone. It's an automatic touchback.
I think that's very lame, because especially when you've got big play people like Larkin does, I mean, they've scored, you know, I don't know, I think half a dozen touchdowns over 60 or 70 yards. So you got to give those guys a chance. But I guess they're just trying to prevent injuries.
Castillo throws, dropped at the 18. And we'll see if they're calling it an incomplete or a lateral. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. At Chad Bartlett, the intended receiver.
Chad Bartlett. Second down.
Well, a similar play last week in the Northwestern Wisconsin game. Quarterback Steve Schnurr threw a pass to Darnell Autry, who took it in for a touchdown, but he actually threw it backwards behind the line of scrimmage, so Autry got credited with the touchdown run and not a touchdown catch.
Castillo deep left sideline. Has his man complete.
Number 2, Vince Weber.
Vince Weber.
Number 17.
Close to midfield. Be marked down at the 49.
Well,
29-yard pickup.
There's no way that man should be one-on-one. If you're the York defense, that's the guy you've got to key on. You can't let Vince Weber beat you. And that time he had man coverage on the left side of the field. And a good job by the York defender to bring him down.
Connor's now icing the knee. Boy, the ice vendors are having a field day at York today. As now both Connors and Milinkovic being tended to. 2:27 to go in the first half and running. Larkin, 51 more yards to go here. They'll try for a chunk here. Castillo going deep and juggling and making the catch at the 20. A perfect throw, and what concentration by the receiver, Teddy Johnson.
That was just a great job by Castillo. He got nailed on that play and had the poise to deliver the football in a long throw because he was on the left hash and threw it all the way to Johnson, who was on the right side. And then Johnson, with a great job of concentrating, falls down, the ball pops out of his chest, but it fortunately landed right in his belly. And a nice job by Castillo to Johnson. And the Royals drive continues at the 21-yard line now.
Onto the ground, Kennedy. He'll be brought down inside the 20.
Gain of a couple yards on the play.
And of course, now the clock down to 150, and
2nd and 7.
Larkin, the only way they can stop the clock is with a first down or a incompletion. Ball at the 17. Johnson will come out for this play.
Well, just a tremendous job by both quarterbacks. Connors having a perfect day, and Castillo really throwing the deep ball very accurately.
Flags come down. Castillo throwing to the corner, incomplete. Justin Kirsch on the coverage, 88 for York, but a flag down in the backfield. And it'll be 5-yard mark off on Elgin Larkin. So put the ball back at the 22 if York opts to accept the penalty, and the illegal motion call will be marched up. Ball back to the 22-yard line. For Larkin, that is their second penalty of the day, or 10 yards. Castillo throwing deep, wobbling towards the end zone, intercepted. A flag comes down. Eric Anderson made the grab right at the goal line. And apparently that's a touchback too.
What the heck is that? You can't run back an interception either? You got a whole wall of blockers, and
well, there's a flag down as well, though, in the end zone, and we'll sort that out. Pass interference against York.
Oh, I don't know about that one either. I thought should have been pass interference against Larkin, but Larkin catches a break. You see Castillo drop back to pass, and he throws this one up. It's a little bit of a wobbler, and I don't know about that. Didn't really see a whole lot of pushing.
It's like
maybe
calling a yacht a big boat.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a first down at the 10-yard line. Pass interference on York. A couple Elgin Larkin drives have been aided by penalties. And that interception nullified by a pass interference. Kennedy, he will go nowhere to the 10 and only to the 10.
Matt Moran, a nice job on the tackle.
2nd and 10.
The nose guard coming in there and bringing down Kennedy.
58 seconds left. Well, now Larkin's got their work cut out for them. They have to score quickly. We'll take a look at the replay, and indeed, you did see a little bit of a grab there by Matt McCoy, the defensive back. Throwing over the middle, Castillo, leaping attempt incomplete.
Well, I stand corrected. There was pass interference on that last play or a couple plays ago, and a good call by the officials, and Gary Grauwinkle's club is trying to fight it off here. 41 seconds to go in the first half, and that time York elected to put some pressure on Castillo. They brought some pressure up the middle, sending the linebackers and one of the defensive backs, but Castillo, with 2 men in his face, had to fire the ball into the end zone before he was ready. The pass incomplete. 3rd down and 10 now. 41 seconds to go in the first half, and the Royals are trying to get one in.
That's the goal right there, to pass that orange cone. In motion, Bartlett. Castillo throwing, underthrown, incomplete. Great pressure coming. Stratton was in the backfield on Castillo as the blitz coming.
4th down, Royals.
And it'll be 4th down for Elgin Larkin.
Well, if Stratton's not in there, Weber wide open in the flat. He appeared to have jumped off sides, but Castillo, with Stratton in his face, fired the football and just couldn't step into his throw, couldn't get enough on it. Weber tried coming back for the football, but he slipped. Pass ball's incomplete. 4th down and 10. And it looks like Larkin's going for it.
Of course, so few teams with effective kickers, in York, or Elgin Larkin rather, down 14 points as well. Hoping to punch it in here. 4th down, and now a flag comes. They may have taken too much time there, and they did. March it back to the 15.
Well, that not only makes it more difficult trying to get 15 yards, but that also definitely eliminates any chance of a field goal.
As an ex-quarterback, is it, I know you don't want to start marching back, but is it that much easier to
actually,
open the passing routes 15 yards as opposed to 10?
Yeah, it might help, with the spacing, especially if you're going to run some kind of post corner or something like that. That gives you a little more room to work with. It gives the receivers an opportunity to maybe juke a defensive back, whereas if you're jammed in tight, there's really not a whole lot of room to operate.
I don't know if that was the strategy, but Elgin Larkin will try to make the best of it. Castillo throwing, deflected, incomplete. Chris Chapin, great coverage. Came up with a ball they call a trap. It doesn't matter. Justin Byer, the intended receiver, but Chapin breaking it up. And the pass a little bit overthrown as well.
Well, they spread things out, sent a guy in motion. They had the play action fake trying to draw up the linebackers, but a nice job by Chapin, the free safety, sticking to the tight end on the play action pass, and the York defense holds 21-7 now with 31 seconds remaining in the first half. And York has just done a tremendous job in their defense, coming up big twice, recovering the fumble on the first drive, and this time fight off a pass interference penalty in the end zone.
And Connors and company will kneel on the ball and go to the half happy with a 21-7 lead. Avoy coming in, Elgin Larkin with all that offense, and coming from the Upstate 8 with all the talent in that conference. Certainly looked at as the favorite on paper, even though both teams 7-2, but York has totally turned that around with a great offensive showing. And so we'll head to the break. The Pom-Pom show is going to be a highlight as usual too for the York fans, but the football game has been a delight from the start. York, 2 touchdown runs by Connors and a 4-yard touchdown pass to tight end Kevin Ryan, accounting for the scoring. York leading 21-7. We'll come back with the second half in a few moments.
Thousands of women will lose a child to AIDS simply because they didn't get an HIV test when they were pregnant. You see, there's now treatment that can help stop the spread of HIV from mother to baby, which gives children of HIV-infected mothers something they never had before. A chance. If you're pregnant, please get an HIV test.
Do you know how many people without safety belts survive even a 30-mile-an-hour crash in one piece?
About half?
You could learn a lot from it, Dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Come on, Vince. Head coach wants to see you.
Last time on Pueblo 81009.
Brian, please don't go. I need your power, your strength, your free consumer information catalog.
You don't need me to get information on staying healthy and getting federal benefits. Just send your name and address to New Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado 81009.
Oh, okay.
York leading 21-7. As we are back for the second half, York to kick off. Elgin Larkin will have the first shot at it. Stratton approaches the ball on a low line drive. Fielded at the 1 by Weber. Straight up the middle now, cuts right, back up the middle, and across the 30 to the 35. A good start for Elgin Larkin of the second half.
Well, that's what we were talking about in the first half, the kick in the end zone. They couldn't run it out, but hey, if you give a guy like Weber or Kennedy or one of their other big playmakers a chance to run the football out, they can make good things happen.
And Stratton was about a yard away from a touchback. As it is, though, that yard making a big difference for Elgin Larkin, able to run the ball out to the 35. Castillo, the quarterback, 6 of 10, 108 yards in the first half. This is Kennedy, brought down by George Brown after a pickup of only 1.
Well, nice job by the middle linebacker, Brown, that time. Saw the hole and just ran right up there and brought down Kennedy. A nice tackle, a gain of 1 on the play.
Kennedy in the first half, well, now adding that yard, 6 carries, 46 yards total, including a 37-yard touchdown run. 2nd and 9. Castillo throwing, intercepted. Matt McCoy with a diving interception.
Well,
and York will take over at the 48 of their own territory.
A nice job by McCoy making the diving interception. And Castillo had his receiver open, number 7, Teddy Johnson, running the slant pattern. He had the cornerback beat, cut it up the middle. But a nice play on the interception by McCoy. And the York defense gets the first break here in the second half, picking off the ball. They get the ball at their own 48-yard line.
Second Elgin Larkin turnover, and also turn the ball over on downs at the 10 of York. Connors play action. Back to the air. Has a man complete. Ryan, a sliding catch at the 36. Continuing an amazing passing performance by Connors. He's up to 9 for 9 passing now in the game for over 145 yards.
Well, that was a nice job by Connors because he had George Brown wide open in the flat with nobody around him. But hey, if you're hot and you're aggressive, you might as well go for it. And he fires it into Ryan, who makes another sliding catch, his 3rd sliding catch of the afternoon, and Connors keeps his hot streak going.
Brown hit at the 35, but able to power forward to the 31.
In about 4 yards of the play.
75, Matt Palm had him locked up a little bit, but Brown able to keep plowing forward, picked up 4.
Well, York is just doing a tremendous job of mixing up the run and the pass. And Connors, they've been running the same play where they open up to the left and roll back out to the right and drag the tight end across the middle. That's been open all day, and Ryan's been catching the ball.
Brown again, straight up the middle, across the 30 and up to about the 27, 26.
Looks to be short. Short by about a yard. 3rd and a yard.
Measure him right about the 27. Be a short yard away from another first down. As we saw 11, Matt McCoy on the sidelines. He's working on getting a little mud out of those cleats, which has been a headache for everyone today. But it has been no headache for York moving the football. Here's Brown again. 3rd straight carry. This will be a first down inside the 25.
First and 10 Duke.
Well, just a nice job that time by Brown. All he was concerned with was getting the first down, and he just took it right up in there. Might have had a chance to bounce it outside, but that's not important. York wants first downs, and George Brown, 2 hands on the football, runs between the guard and the center on the left side and picks up the first down for the Dukes.
7 carries, 24 yards for him now. Throwing, Connors to Stratton. Running out of bounds. A little extracurricular shove afterward as Ken Scott on the coverage. Shoving Stratton out of bounds.
4 yards on the play.
10 for 10 for Connors.
Well, that time Connors, a nice job Stratton had a big cushion on the left side of the field. The cornerback Scott playing him about 7 or 8 yards off the ball. And Stratton on the left side runs the out pattern. Nice job by Connors of turning and throwing the football, and Stratton catches it in his hands, pushed out of bounds after a short gain of about 5 yards.
Brown. He dives forward to about the 17.
Brown goes for a couple of yards. Driven down at about the 18-yard
Connors
line.
coming over to get the play from Coach Gary Grauwinkle.
Third about 3.
York having to get just inside the 15, and they are just inside the 18 right now. With 8:45 to go in the third quarter, 21-7 Dukes. Every time they've had the ball, except that one play to run off the clock at the end of the first half, they have moved the football. Anderson.
Number 21, Eric Anderson gets the
This
call.
time he is going to be met short of the first, it appears. They'll mark him back at the 16.
4th and 2 for the Dukes of York.
York will need about 1.5 yards for the first.
And the York cheerleaders hoping to
Yeah.
throw some more of those footballs up into the stands, and you see they've got plenty left, so they want that offense to put another touchdown on the board so the cheerleaders can wing those green and white footballs up into the stands. But York with a big 4th down coming up now, 4th and about 2 yards on the play, so Gary Grauwinkle burning the timeout, thinking this one over.
Connors, meanwhile, having a quick word on the side with Terry Clark. The York coaching staff, including not only Gary Grauwinkle, but also defensive coordinator, Dave Tracer, sophomore level, Terry Clark, varsity offensive line, Mike Tice, the baseball coach, and also the defensive line coach. And the Dukes are ready to return to action at the 16-yard line. They'll have a 4th down and 2. Closer to about 1.5 yards for them. In motion is Stratton. Connors rolling that way, looking to throw. Diving catch, Stratton. First down, Dukes. Inside the 10.
Unbelievable. I've never seen a quarterback in a big game come up like Connors has this afternoon, especially on the rollouts. Those passes are very difficult to throw accurately. And you see Connors rolling out to the right side, the line in the way, and he fires the ball in another diving catch. You can't say enough for the kids at York this afternoon. That's about their 7th or 8th diving catch on the afternoon, and a diving interception by the defense. And a first down now on 4th and 2, ball at the 7-yard line.
They go back to the ground. Anderson slips as he tries to cut back, or he'd be in the end zone. As it is, he's down to the 1, though.
Well, he had Rick Hoffman there, number 81, leading the way, and he had the cutback lane open, and he had a clear path to the end zone, but you see all that mud on his uniform and on his shoes, and a little bit of that came up as he went to plant his foot and make the cut, and he fell down. But nonetheless, ball sitting just outside the 1-yard line. 2nd down. You see the run once again.
This
Connors,
is actually the pass to Stratton.
and another catch.
From the 2, this will be Brown, and he is met short of the goal line. He'll get maybe to the 1.
Very short gain on the play.
7:05 to go.
About the 1.5-yard line.
Well, that time a nice job by the left side of the defensive line for the Larkin Royals. They stop Brown. No gain on that play at all. 3rd down and about 1.5 yards to go for the touchdown. And York staying in the 2 tight end formation, 3 backs.
In fact, Matt Moran lined up in a pack now. He leads. Anderson follows. Touchdown. Eric Anderson.
Scores now 27-7 in favor of the Dukes of York.
Well, you see that on the professional level very often. Jim Flanagan on the Bears lining up in the backfield, and in the old days, William Perry getting in there as a lead blocker. And that time Moran leads the blocking into the left side, and the leap over the top, crosses the goal line. Another touchdown for York. They're up 27-7.
Go for the extra point here. It'll be Stratton without the hold of Connors. Kick is on the way. It is 28-7 York as Stratton converts.
Stratton got all of that when he kicked that one all the way past the track.
Boy, what a surprise here. Of course, both teams coming in 7-2, but if we would have expected a blowout today, it probably would have been Elgin Larkin way ahead, but York is pulling away here.
Yeah, well, when you talk high-powered offense, you talk Elgin Larkin, but the Dukes are showing that they've got an offense of their own.
And a t-shirt of their own, the West Suburban Silver Conference champions, 92, 93, 94, 95. Line up those helmets. 4 in a row.
I don't tell you that the last 2 of those were only half.
Well, yeah, they maybe should have taken the chin strap off or the face mask.
But they're conference champs nonetheless, and they're playing very well here this afternoon. 28-7 now, 6:41 to go in the third quarter. And you hear so much about the Larkin offense and the York defense. While the York offense has really done the job here this afternoon, quarterback Mike Connors had an outstanding day, still perfect on the day. In the running game, you lose a big guy like Max Milinkovic on the first play, but Brown and Anderson have stepped up.
Stratton's booming kick. This will go into the end zone for a touchback. Almost went out of bounds, but it is a touchback. So it'll be out to the 20 for Elgin Larkin. You look at the Silver Conference. Early in the year, they were kind of maligned. They struggled in non-conference play. The last few weeks, though, you look at the way Downers North played a tremendous game last week at Downers South and lost in overtime. Last night, Hinsdale Central going to Naperville Central and taking them to the wall. Now York today leading Larkin by 21 points. The conference is having a great postseason. Weber. Good first down carry for him. Pick up about 8 yards.
Well, if it weren't for Eric Anderson, that could have been a lot more than 8. Because once Weber's in the open field, he's dangerous. He's got the speed to take it all the way, and that time Anderson with the shoestring tackle brings down Weber after a gain of 8. We'll see now, 2nd and 2. This will give quarterback Castillo a 3 down to work with, trying to get the ball to the outside.
9 carries, 43 yards now. For Weber, Prince Simpson in motion. This is Weber. And he's up to the 35. First down, Elgin Larkin.
The Larkin offensive coach is remaining patient in the game. Still a lot of ball game left. 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And they know they don't have to rush because their offense can strike quickly. So they're just taking it down by down. That time electing to go for the first down and pick it up on the ground. 2nd and 2, they had it down to work with, but they keep it on the ground, get a first down, ball sitting at the 35.
Duel split out to the left. Now Simpson in motion to the right. They run back to the left. Stratton meets Kennedy, and Kennedy will pick up about 2 yards, maybe 3.
38-yard line, where he's finally brought down. Gain of 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7 for the
Spot the ball at
Royals.
the 38. There's Connors. What a day he's had. 11 for 11 now passing. For 161 yards. I don't know what more you could ask from somebody. And then they had a 2-point pass on a conversion play off a fake extra point. Pitch, Kennedy. Brought down in the backfield. Eric Anderson.
That time Anderson, the strong safety, coming up and charging the line of scrimmage, makes a tackle for the loss.
Be back to 3rd and 10 for Elgin Larkin. Twardowski shuttling in the play as 83 Mike Shorett comes out.
Larkin's going to have to open things up here pretty soon. I want to see Castillo throw the football. He did a nice job of throwing the ball in the first half, showed good poise in the pocket, and see Anderson there with a good day running the football and a big play on 2nd down.
Castillo throwing underneath, juggling incomplete. Brown with the hit, and Vince Weber unable to hold on.
Well, great coverage on the play that time by Brown. The ball gets there, and George Brown gets there just a split second later.
4th and 10 for Larkin. And they will drop back to punt for the first time today. First punt for either side. It'll be Jason Thompson, 39, to kick. Single safety deep is Jim Miller. And we have some movement on the line. Matt Moran may have jumped for York.
Offside
Offside on York. That the Dukes' 7th penalty for 50 yards today.
That's about their 4th offsides penalty as well.
They had 3 on one Larkin drive early.
Well, what the heck you doing? Why are you jumping off sides again?
Just don't do it again. In fact, still in punt formation. And he will kick it away. Thompson. Miller from the 24 and staggers to the 25 before he's brought down. And Scott on the tackle.
Twardowski almost got in there and got a hand on that punt.
York starts at their own 25, 4:13 left in the third, up 28-7. Anderson and Brown in the backfield. Milinkovic is done for the day. We saw him hurt on the first play.
Number 21, Eric Anderson with
Eric
the carry.
Anderson.
Across the 25-yard line.
We had a 1-yard touchdown run the last possession, and now up to 94 yards with that 2-yard pickup.
Well, Anderson did.
There's Milinkovic.
He's got a little jacket on to keep him warm now, and a blanket to cover up that foot in the ice bag. We don't know how serious it is. Maybe he'll be back for next week. Let's hope so for Max Milinkovic and the Dukes.
Good job, Kenny. You're going to need him, Stevenson. One tough ball club. Anderson.
Anderson across the 30-yard
Moves
line.
it up to about the 35.
3rd and 4.
Or make it the 31-yard line, rather.
And a nice block on the play by number 62, Matt Moran, leading the way in 3rd down. 4 yards. We'll see if the Dukes select to keep it on the ground or go back to the man that's on fire this afternoon. Mike Connors doing a great job of throwing the football. We'll see. He's on the right hash mark now, so he might roll out to the left side. You've had Stratton one-on-one on the outside all day.
Stratton is split out to the left. Hoffman this way. They go to Hoffman. Unable to hold on, incomplete as he dove to the turf.
And that was one of his easier throws on the day. And that time the diving catch is no good. And Connor's pass falls incomplete, his first one of the day, and they open up to the left side again. And he was open. He was open. He was sitting there, and Connors thought, you know, he might have let him a little bit too much into the middle. He was sitting in that hole in the zone. It was open on the right side, but the pass falls incomplete, and the Dukes have to punt. And now they haven't been too used to punting, and a last-minute straggler comes running onto the field. That would be number 3, Brett Fay.
Now there's each team having to punt for the first time, and a flag is thrown before the snap. Delay of game on York.
We'll push the ball back 5 yards. Still 1st down. Still 4th down.
That'll be 4th and 9. Now for York. From their own 26, there's Gary Grawwinkle. Kind of giving the camera the quick, dirty look there.
Gary Grawwinkle, dirty looks? No. He's just one intense individual on game day.
Stratton booms it, fielded nicely on one hop by Weber at the 38. Into the clear, 45, 30, 35, sidesteps another, and into the 28-yard line. What a return for Weber.
Weber on the return. His ball into territory.
He's just an exciting open field player. Weber has run back 2 punts and 2 kickoffs for touchdowns this year. And you saw him pick and juke his way down the field. Takes the ball up the right sideline, brings the ball all the way back to the York 27-yard line. So the Larkin offense, we talked about the big plays, and Weber was fortunate to get the ball on the short hop, and he just picks his way through the fence right there, gets to the right side, and the 1st down play goes off the right tackle, and Larkin picks up a couple.
That was a 36-yard punt for Stratton and a 34-yard return for Weber, as we'll take one more look.
Just picked it up on that short hop and just wound his way through the blockers and a couple of missed tackles there, and finally brought down inside the 30-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 24 of York. It is 28-7 Dukes, 150 left. Elgin, Larkin, no threatening. Castillo back to Kennedy, and he will gain little yardage, up maybe to the 23. Jim Miller and George Brown on the spot for the tackle.
3rd down.
They'll spot it at about the 22. Have to get to about the 18, though.
Well, Larkin's moved the ball pretty well, but this is where they've had problems. Once they get near that red zone, the York defense has really done a good job of holding firm. Third down now for the Royals.
Castillo, short drop, throwing, complete. Teddy Johnson came in with 35 grabs for 625 yards on the year and came up with a big one there with Justin Kirsch right on him. First down and goal, Elgin Larkin.
Well, Kirsch was all over Johnson, but more importantly, Matt Moran came in and really stuck it to Castillo, but the quarterback does a nice job of getting rid of the football, and they ran that slant route. They're getting man coverage on the outside, and Johnson comes up with a big catch. Ball at the 8-yard line now for the Royal offense.
55 seconds to go in the third. Running left, Kennedy. Miller grabs him by the ankles, slows him up. Kennedy able to get to the 5, though, maybe the 6. They will spot him at the 5. 3-yard pickup.
Ball now rests just outside the 5-yard line. Second and goal.
Kennedy up to 54 yards now on the day. 25 seconds to go. This could be the last play, probably will be the last play of the third quarter.
Larkin's going to have to hurry to get this one off before the play clock expires, let alone the game clock. Inside 12 seconds now in the third quarter.
Larkin will have the wind in the fourth quarter, but they've got some work to do. Flags come down. Might have had some motion as Moran going down. Back at the 10.
Line number 62 for the Dukes of York. Matt Moran, flag down on the play.
2 seconds to go in the third.
Well, Matt Moran is giving number 54, the center Tom Sullivan, fits, and you see him, he breaks free again, gets to the outside, gets by the left guard as well, number 56, Eric McQuillan.
Timeout, Larkin.
Larkin will take a timeout here. With 2 seconds left in the third quarter, and as we mentioned, they'll have the wind in the fourth quarter, and certainly could have just let the play clock run out. There's our obligatory airplane shot, which reminds us that our crack sideline reporter, our sideline cameraman, Bill Funches, will be flying to Hawaii next week, to beautiful Hawaii, for 2 weeks of fun in the sun. So we will miss Bill, but boy, what a job he's done all season, and we'll see him in basketball season.
Or Funches in the sun, if you prefer.
Now, there's hope for you yet, or trouble for you yet, because you're starting to delve into the puns here.
Well, sitting up in the booth with you for 4 years, you know, it sort of just rubs off. Puns by osmosis, I guess. I can't help myself.
Told him to, you know, try to get a Don Ho autograph or
a shoe.
What is that?
I think it's tape. I want to say it's tape. I hope it's tape.
Well, anyway, 2 seconds left. Larkin will run this play before the quarter ends. Third down at the 10-yard line. Third and goal. Following the sack. Coming again at Castillo. Throws underneath, complete to Weber. Bounces off. Dives for the goal line, but he's stopped at about the 1.
Well, once again, Castillo pressured and does a nice job of getting rid of the football, but because he can't step into the football, the pass hung up there a little bit. A nice job by Weber of coming back and getting the football, being aggressive, and then he was able to elude Anderson and get it down to the 1-yard line. So they're on the doorstep to begin the fourth quarter.
And that's where we will start the fourth. Elgin Larkin will be at the 1 with a 4th down and goal when we come back.
Life. You're born, you're all potential like a blank slate. You get to fill it any way you want. Nah, you're a canvas. Yeah, you're like a brand new canvas you can go wild on. Nah, maybe you're more like a lump of clay that can be molded into anything. Well, the idea is simple. Fill up your life. Just keep drugs out of it, huh? After all, your life is the only whatever you got. It's a life or drugs situation.
If you can boil water, you can cook a meal for someone who can't. Your local volunteer center can show you how easy it is.
What happens after a crash doing 30 with no safety belt?
A face-off.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Well, the teams switch ends of the field. They'll move 98 yards here, and Elgin Larkin with 4th and goal at the 1 to start the 4th, down 28-7.
And you see the pass right there. Weber shook off Anderson's tackle and was able to dive for the cone. Comes up just short at the 1-yard line. And for Elgin Larkin, this is the ball game, and they jump offside.
Right down before the snap.
Oh, the Elgin Larkin lineman holding his head like, oh, what have I done? And that'll march him back 5 yards to the 6 on 4th and goal.
Well, with 1 yard to go, it's pretty easy to just run it up the middle or off tackle, but now you might have to try to get one of your backs to the outside. Both Kennedy and Weber have pretty good speed, or you might want to roll out quarterback Castillo. Let's see what the Larkin offensive coaches have in store. They're spreading out the field, 3 receivers in the ball game.
2 split out left. Castillo looking that way. Throwing. Johnson can't come up with it, incomplete. Had to turn around and look over the other shoulder as the ball was in the air, and Teddy Johnson unable to catch up with that play. York takes over at their 6.
Well, York's defense has really done a great job down in the red zone. Once that ball gets inside the 20-yard line, they really get it together and hold strong. That time the 4th down pass, Castillo dropped back. They ran the fade route to the corner. They had plenty of room to operate. Castillo lofts it up there, but Johnson looked over his right shoulder first, but the ball was coming to the outside, and one last dive. Couldn't come up with it. Pass ball is incomplete. York gets it now at the 5-yard line, 28-7, 11:55 to go in the ball game.
Connors runs the quarterback draw very effectively. Still on his feet, finally brought down at the 26. Thrown down hard, but he gets up clapping.
You like to run the quarterback draw to give yourself a yard or 2 more to go so you're not so constricted when you're up against your own goal line. But the York coaches have to like it when they take the quarterback sneak, quarterback draw, whatever you want to call it, right up the middle for a gain of 20. And Connors just having a good day. Passing the football, only 1 incompletion, and that time with a 20-yard quarterback run up the middle.
And the flag as Anderson took the pitch. Stratton was in motion. It'll be a legal procedure against York. There, the new York helmet, and whoever the new design, and whoever owns that one has made a lot of big plays this year. Stars galore. 28-7 today for York. 11:28 to go. They're at their own 20 with a 1st and 15 coming up. This is Anderson. Across the 35 to the 37. On 1st and 15, York has picked up another 1st down.
That was a great run by Anderson. Made 2 or 3 little cutbacks, nothing drastic, just a little bit here and a little bit there, and he read his blockers very well and makes up for the penalty and gets 17 yards. You see him off tackle to the right, breaks 1 tackle there, picks his way back, and drags 4 or 5 tacklers down. Anderson, well over 100 yards now on the day.
That put him over. He's at 115 now after those 17 yards. Stratton in motion again. They hand to Brown. Stratton holding the block, and Brown spins out close to the 45, pick up about 7. Collection of muddy feet. But
2nd and 3 for the Dukes of York.
Muddy feet have played pretty well here this afternoon, especially down inside their own 20-yard line. The York defense really doing the job in the offense. Can't give enough credit. Their whole offense has played well, not just quarterback Connors. Both backs running the football well, and none of it would have been possible without a great play by the offensive line.
Running right. This is Kevin Cruiser. Cruiser, 15 carries, 77 yards coming in, and that's over 5 yards a carry, so he's an effective ball carrier. And in his reserve role coming in here to pick up a first down.
You got to like that name for a running back, too, Cruiser. That's a good name for a running back. He's pretty quick and gets to the outside, picks up another first down, and see Connors running in with the play.
7 yards there.
You definitely got to look for York to try and keep the ball on the ground as much as possible and run the clock down.
Again, it'll be Cruiser, this time left. And up to about the 46-yard line.
Driven down at about the 45-yard line. Stop was made by number 27, Matt Myers, below number 45.
9:35 and counting. York just gobbling up the yards and the time. They've done it all day. Pickup of give him 4 yards. Rather generous 4, but 2nd and 6. And a long 6, Stratton in motion. And to Brown. Larkin reaching, clawing for that football. Brown holds on, though, and carries the pile close to the 40. Spot him at the 41. A third and about 2. A long 2. With 8:50 exactly now and running to go. Well, that Larkin defense needs to stand here. Connors. Anderson running right. First down yardage to about the 35. Just methodically gobbling up the yardage right now. And basically, since the opening kickoff, if you want to look that far back, the only time York has been stopped today has been by the second quarter buzzer, because they took over at their own 15 at the end of the quarter, and Connors knelt on the ball to end the half. Other than that, York has scored every time they've had the ball. Except one punt there. Cruiser again, another big pickup, close to another first down.
Well, I think it's time we start giving the offensive line some credit. I think the officials are going to take time out here to measure to see if Cruiser picked up the first down.
Yeah, we mentioned them in the first half, but the more credit, the better. You have Scott Lestina, John Bischoff, Pete Twardowski, Frank Grody, Matt Moran. Also had Jim Costello in there.
Kevin Ryan, the tight end.
Kevin Ryan, the tight end, who's also made a couple big catches. First down. Cruiser, 3 carries, 21 yards on this drive. We mentioned it from the outset. They have 4 players averaging better than 5 yards a carry, and you don't have that kind of depth on many teams unless you have a great offensive line, and York certainly does. .745. This drive chewing up time and yardage. Brown does not go far, up maybe to the 21, but a flag down.
This was stop made by number 6, Ken Scott. Flag down on the play.
Connors throws his arms up in disgust. So this one's going to be marched back. It's been one of the few flaws in York today. Penalties, that's their 8th.
Quick ball back 5 yards, still first down.
But at the rate they're going, they'll just make up for it another couple carries and probably have another first down with the way their offensive line is playing. Just dominating from the opening drive of the ball game.
Cruiser, 22, comes back in for 35, Paul Taviani. 28-7 York. Doing a tremendous job holding an Elgin Larkin offense to just 7 points. And of course, the offense has spoken for itself. Cruiser with a short pickup on 1st and 15.
Stop made by number 6, Ken Scott, along with number 44, Brian Smith.
Move it up to about the 28. 2nd and 13.
Gain of 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 13.
Connors gets the play himself from the sidelines and is back in there. has thrown just one incompletion today. 11 for 12. In fact, completed his first 11, and the 12th was off the receiver's hands. Another motion play, it appears. A motion call against York as flags come. Cruiser inside the 20, but again, yes, 2 players in motion against York.
Illegal motion penalty against the Dukes.
A lot of illegal motion and offsides penalties, and you might expect it if it were the first or second game of the season, but this is state playoff time, and you really don't see that many mistakes usually, you know, come this late in the season. But the York offense penalized once again for illegal motion, 2nd down and 18 now, and that negated a fine run by Cruiser.
Clock will roll again, 6:35 to go.
Yeah, but I think more importantly, you don't want your drives to go in reverse, but keeps the clock rolling. They don't stop the clock on those penalties, so the York coach is doing a good job of telling Connors to work the clock.
Cruiser, good blocking on the right side.
Cruiser with the carry.
He's up to about the 25.
Nice block by Brown on the cornerback Ken Scott up on top.
About the 27-yard line.
Kevin Cruiser, 5'8", 150-pound senior. K-R-E-U-Z-E-R.
You see Brown, the lead blocker, right up there, and kicks out the cornerback, and Cruiser cuts it up for a nice gain on the play. But thanks to a couple penalties, York's still facing a 3rd down and 12 now from the 26.
.540 to go. Anderson, or rather Cruiser and Brown in the backfield. It is Cruiser on the carry. He gets to the 24. So it'll be 4th down and 10.
25-yard line, 4th down.
Well, we talked about Scott getting blocked on that last play by Brown, but once again, he shows the good speed to come around from the outside and make the tackle on the run up the middle. And he made that fine play on the kickoff for the Royals when he came from the far left side to get into the middle of the field and make the tackle. So you definitely know that he's got some good speed. He's got 4 interceptions on the season. And
out of field goal range, York will call timeout and go for it. Connors brought him up to the line and then decided needed to talk it over here. A little uncertainty.
And the Larkin sideline
play,
talking things over, saying, what the heck happened this afternoon, you know? Our offense coming in, averaging 36 a game and shut down by the York defense. Only put 7 on the board, a couple big turnovers.
Well, they put up some big numbers against some good teams, too. You have a 41-point output against Rich East, a team that's in the playoffs. 35 against Waubonsie Valley, a team that won 5 games and is a perennial playoff team until this season. 34 against Aurora West, which I think a little down this year, but they were in the playoffs last year. It's a good ball club, a great offense, and York has negated a lot of what Elgin Larkin wanted to do. Along with that, though, a couple of key failures on 4th and goal and a turnover inside the 10. Because Larkin has gobbled up some yardage. They just haven't put many points on the board. 5:01 to go. 4th and 11. Stratton in motion. Connors will roll that way. Looking to throw, looking to Stratton. Flag down, complete at about the 10. But a flag is down in the backfield, and we're going to have a hold, it would appear. And that's what it is.
Well, that was the perfect call. Had 2 tight ends in the game and had Stratton start on the right side. They brought him in motion to the left. They rolled out Connors to the left side. Fired a nice pass down. Stratton did a good job of getting downfield and then coming back to catch the football, but a hold on the play. This one's coming back, and you see Connors rolling out to the left side, does a nice job of keeping the ball in throwing position, fires it down, and you see Stratton coming back for the football, not waiting for it to come to him, and makes the catch. But another big penalty.
11th penalty for 80 yards.
I think York should kick it now, and definitely that's what Gary Grawwinkle is thinking as well. When you're down around the 20, that's not too bad. You don't have a lot to lose, but hey, you've got a good kicker. Stratton's shown that he's had a good leg pretty much all day. So they bring Stratton in for the punt, and
kicking into the wing this time. but has time and gets it away, and it is a good kick. Caught at the 1. Weber will try to return it. And he's up to about the 15. Good gamble, down 28-7, but that's a tough real estate to make up.
Well, definitely. Usually you tell your punt returners, keep your heels on the 10, and if the ball's over your head, just let it go into the end zone. But when you've got a big play man like Weber and you're down 28-7 with only 4.5 minutes to go, hey, what the heck, take a shot. Let him try and run it back for a score, but good job by the York cover team. They bring Weber down at the 15-yard line. 4 minutes and 15 seconds now for Joel Castillo and the Royals offense.
Coming in motion, that's Chad Bartlett. Quick throw to the side, Bartlett has it. Brown brings him down, but not before he's out to first down yardage to about the 25.
Stop was made by number 30, Charles Brown.
2 timeouts left for Larkin as well. They used one at the end of the third quarter.
We'll see another time here. Castillo under center, fires off the screen pass to the right side. A couple nice blocks, and Johnson gets to the outside.
Castillo throws to Johnson, complete. First down and more, up to about the 39-yard line. Justin Kirsch finally on the tackle.
When you look at this Larkin offense, they've really done a nice job of moving the football today, but when it counted, they just couldn't get the job done. Castillo's done a nice job of throwing the football, and you've got a good receiver in Johnson and a couple good running backs, and you've got to look and wonder and say, how do they only have 7 points on the board?
A lot of it is York's ability to stop the running game down deep, throwing deep, and almost intercepted. Chris Chapane, who had an earlier interception to stop Larkin's first drive, couldn't hold on to that one.
Well, the problem there, Castillo was trying to go to the left side. He thought he had man coverage, but the free safety came over on the play. See Castillo look to the right and then come back up top to the left, and the free safety did a nice job of playing center field. He saw the guy coming down the sideline and drifted over, almost had the interception on the sidelines. Pass falls incomplete, 2nd down and 10, 3:29 remaining.
Split out to either side. Johnson and Bartlett. Play action underneath, they complete to Kennedy. Brought down at about the 48-yard line. That's Jim Miller on the tackle.
Both first down yards from short by about a yard.
Well, you see Larkin finally realizing that, hey, we don't have a lot of time left. They're going to the no huddle. And we'll see if quarterback Joel Castillo can rally his troops for a score.
3rd and less than a yard. Throwing and incomplete. Matt McCoy there on the spot to break up that play, the same play that Castillo hit Bartlett on for 11 yards to start the drive, but this one broken up by McCoy.
Well, Matt McCoy, eyes lit up when he saw that screen pass coming that way. He saw the possibility for a big hit, but if he would have been looking for it, he might have had a possibility for interception. But he makes the big stick, the pass falls incomplete. You see Castillo with the quick hitter. And yes, it was a forward pass. It wasn't a lateral behind the line of scrimmage. McCoy is excited about his big hit. 4th down and 1 now from 49.
Going for the first down, and they'll get it. Castillo keeps it himself and is across midfield.
50-yard line, down to about the 48.
To the 49 of York.
First down for the Larkin Royals.
The time is running out. 3:17 to go. Short drop, Castillo. Pressure coming. Throws, intercepted. Chris Chapane with the interception. Away from the interception, Teddy Johnson got all tangled up going for the ball with a York defender, and no flag on the play. It's an interception instead for Chapane, his 2nd of the game. And I think you can put that as the icing on the cake for the York victory. You can see Miller and Johnson colliding there, and
the ball was in the area. I don't think Johnson had a chance to get it, especially after Miller hit him. But a tough break for Larkin there. The pass is intercepted, and the York Dukes appear headed to a meeting with Stevenson in the 2nd round as they run out the final 250 of this one.
Saves Connors, just keeping it himself.
Mike Connors with the carry. Gain of 2 yards of the play.
been a turnover-free game except for the 2 interceptions by Chapin. We're down to 2:30 to go. Cruiser again, looking to find something on the right, but nothing there. He'll just go down with the football. He'll pick up of about 1 yard.
Third down.
Minute 55 and rolling. No, now they're going to move him back to the 37, so no gain. Looked like a pretty generous spot to start with.
Well, they're starting to give the instructions now to Connors. Telling them, keep your team at the line. Don't snap the ball until we tell you to. Gary Groundwinkle on the sidelines telling him, okay, now you can start ready.
Conductor over there saying when to start playing.
At about the 40-yard line.
Cruiser run out of bounds. That will stop the clock. Pick up of 3 for him. So with a minute 25, York will have to punt again. Either a third punt of the half. Have Weber and Teddy Johnson deep to receive. Hoping to break one and just get something going for Larkin before time runs out. Fielded on 2 hops at the 26. And down at about the 27. We'll take a break here with a minute 14 to go. York up 28-7.
Number 11, Matt McCoy.
Good afternoon, officer. My license and registration. Cheeseburger? It's hot out today, huh, officer? Maybe my tail light's out.
Shouldn't you be
carpooling? I guess you're right.
I guess I am.
Carpooling can save up to 600,000 gallons of gas a year. This message sponsored by Ad Council and Earthshare.
Our planet's rainforests are burning. 96,000 acres are burned every day. Join the National Arbor Day Foundation and support rainforest rescue to help stop the destruction. You'd better call now.
Tonight on Pueblo 81009, Alexa sends her name and address to New Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado 81009 for a free listing of federal consumer publications.
Back to throw Castillo, throws. And Kennedy, a good run after the catch. Up to about the 37-38 yard line.
Number 55, the right guard, Mike Corcoran. Little extra shot in on George Brown, and Brown's not the one down on the play. Let's see, who is that? Number 83, Mike Charette, the defensive end, getting up a little bit slowly on that play, but a little bit too late here. Once again, Larkin moving the football, but your inability to capitalize on a couple of drives into York territory in the first half and in the third quarter. And York with a big 28-7 lead right now, well on their way to victory and a second-round showdown with Stevenson.
8 first downs for Larkin in this half and 19 for the game, and they have 7 points to show for it. They have really moved the ball, but have to put the points on the board. That's going to be a loss of 7 on that completion.
It's the old bend but don't break. You know, you can give up all the yards you want, but if they don't get it in the end zone, it doesn't really matter. Especially not when your offense plays as well as the Dukes did here this afternoon. Connors with a great job at quarterback, good job running the football and catching it, and a great job by the York offensive line.
20 seconds to go. Castillo throwing. Chapin with his third interception. A flag comes down, though, as he makes the play. Chapin at the 45-yard line.
Intercepted by number 84, Chris Chapin.
Well, Justin Kirsch, the interception leader for York, coming in. But Chapin's going to pass him, unless, of course, this is called back, and it may well be.
I think they're calling pass interference on York, and yes, it is.
So York called for the penalty.
And another penalty as well, because some of the York players aren't too happy about that call. And you see Castillo fading back, and he's got to learn, if he's throwing that ball all the way across the field, especially if you're going deep with it, you can't keep the ball in the air that long, because that gives the defenders plenty of time to run under the football and make an interception. And that time, called back because of the penalty, and Chapin's second interception of the day.
This will be a 30-yard march off before they're all done, as they add an unsportsmanlike conduct on.
That gives Larkin first and
So at the
10.
York 39, just 12 seconds left, 28-7 York. Larkin looking for a last-ditch prayer to get on the board. Here they come, and Castillo lops it up, almost intercepted. It would have been smooth sailing all the way for Todd Venice. Would have felt like Bill Funchess floating along on the Pacific Ocean there, where he'll be in a few weeks, our excellent sideline cameraman. Timeout, Elgin Larkin. It went just like that, a cruise, 60 yards for a touchdown. But unable to hold on was Todd Venice. Not that it's really going to matter.
Exactly. Does not matter one bit.
Would have been a nice story, though, for him to
run back a touchdown, interception for a touchdown in the state playoffs. But York, they'll definitely need another effort like this if they hope to come close to Stevenson. The number one rated offense in the state of Illinois put 48 on the board yesterday.
They've been averaging around that, I think, too, in the 40s or
high 40s.
High 40s, because they even put 31 points on the board against Libertyville and 35 against Downer South. Naperville Central considered number one. I think Stevenson's the team to beat, though, the way things are going. And even before last night's Naperville Central game, Stevenson was looking like the best team in the state, the way they've just annihilated teams, and the fact that Naperville Central has a few key players, particularly Jim Tumbleby, their running back, who are 100%. Probably the last play, Castillo. Pressure comes from Justin Bricker, lobs it up, tipped, and almost intercepted, but incomplete.
And at the end of the game,
and so,
28-7
this one is over. Elgin Larkin from the Upstate 8. Boy, they came in with an offense loaded and a 7-2 record. They go home 28-7, losers to York. What a ball game for Gary Grawinkel and his ball club.
Well, York's defense had really stepped up the last 3 weeks, held their opponents to only 6 points, and they held an offense that averaged nearly 36 points per game to a lone score here this afternoon. And the offense did a great job as well, both running and passing. A fine job by the offensive line. Gary Grawinkel has his playoff victory.
Well, the footballs are being tossed up to the press box now. A joyous day for York. They go to 8-2. And leading the way, Eric Anderson with over 110 yards rushing, 121 to be exact, as well as a touchdown. And Mike Connors, 12 of 13 passing. What a day for him at quarterback. A great day all around for the York offense, and holding Elgin Larkin, their touted offense, to 7 points. The York defense, a big assist. That's the story. We'll see you again down the playoff road. The first round belongs to York as they beat Elgin Larkin 28-7. For Kevin Krebs, I'm Dave Owen, and we will see you down the road here as the playoffs continue on Continental Cablevision. So long.